Shalom, everyone, and I hope you're having a wonderful week. This is Tuesday when we talk about peace and all of the things that bring peace. Today, I am thinking about all of those things that kind of steal your peace. I'm doing my Shalom stealers, and one of those things is unwarranted guilt. Do you have unwarranted guilt? That means guilt for things that you really shouldn't feel guilty about. There's good guilt and there's bad guilt. The good guilt is actually a gift from God. It's keeping you in line. It keeps you from doing things that are going to harm you or harm others. So guilt is a good thing. But for some reason, especially us ladies, I don't know so much about the men because I don't have any experience in that. But as ladies, we tend to feel guilty for everything. We feel guilty if we didn't bring the right dish to a potluck. I don't know. We feel guilty if we didn't go out to coffee with somebody or it's been too long. We feel guilty if we don't have a hostess gift if we go to a party. You name them in the comments, all the things that we are unwarranted guilt that we have and we bring on ourselves. And so that's what I'm thinking about today. And today, I'm also here doing another challenge, and that is I'm going to try in the month of May to exercise every single day for the month of May. So I'm trying to go on a walk, trying to do stretches, trying to do some exercises, and I'm trying to keep those going. So we'll see how that works. You'll have to keep me accountable. Keep asking me, did you walk today? Did you exercise today? But that's what we're going to try to do. It is a windy day, so we're going to see how this works, but I might bring you along if it's not too crazy windy. We'll try this. Never feel guilty about taking time for yourself, whether for your health or to rest, to exercise. That's what I'm here doing right now. I'm in my car. I'm at a local college that I love to walk all of their trails, and I haven't done that in a very long time. Never feel guilty for accepting compliments. That's one of the hardest things that we have to do. When somebody pays you a compliment, do you tend to try to balance it out with something negative? I have a hard time doing that. People give me a compliment and then I want to, like, that dress is so nice. Well, thank you. I've got it really, really cheap. Like, we're trying to balance the fact that somebody gave us a compliment. I love your hair. Oh, I haven't had it done in like a month, instead of, thank you, I guess I'm having a good hair day. So do not feel guilty about accepting compliments. Go ahead and accept them and just embrace them. You know you're not going to get prideful over that because you know you have a hard time accepting compliments. Never feel guilty for having to let go. Sometimes we grieve and we hold on to things and we have to say goodbye to people, places, things. And then when we finally are ready to let go, we have a guilt that we've gone ahead and let go. And that's a false guilt. You do not have, if it's time to let go of something, let go of the grief, it's okay. Don't feel guilty. Go ahead and let go and just heal and be okay with that. Don't feel guilty when you have to draw boundary lines, when you have to put your family first and maybe draw a safe boundary line and say, you can't come this close to my family because you're going to hurt us. You can't, we can't spend that much time with you because you keep acting that way. You know, things like that. And this is a hard one because so many times it's family that we have to see at holidays. We have to see, or sometimes we have to take care of them. Sometimes, so it's okay to have healthy boundary lines. And then let's discuss that in the comments. How do we draw those boundary lines and yet still do our part to take care of them, to provide for them? How do we navigate that? That's one thing I'm thinking about today, is how we navigate those boundary lines and protect those we love. Never ever be afraid to admit that you have weaknesses. We all have weaknesses and we all have strengths, and not everyone could be strong at everything, and not everybody's weak at everything. So admit your weaknesses. Do not feel guilty about them, and do not be afraid to ask for help. Do not be afraid to ask for what you need. Ask, and then you meet somebody else's needs where they are weak and you are strong. So once again, never ever be ashamed or feel guilty about your weaknesses. Don't be afraid to say no, and don't feel guilty when you have to say no, even when you have to say no to good things. Remember, a couple weeks ago we talked about schedules and having to choose the most important over the good, or the better versus the good. And so do not feel guilty when you have to say no. I know this is one of the hardest things, is when we feel like we're letting somebody down, and we don't like to let people down. But the most important thing is that your loved ones, the ones that are closest to you, that they don't get let down because you've given away your time. And you have to set your priorities, and maybe a different season of your life you'll be able to say yes to those other things. But maybe in this season you have to say no, and never feel guilty when you have to say no. Okay, this is a big one. Never feel guilty for not having a life that is Instagram perfect. Notice all the noise in the background. None of these videos are ever going to be perfect. My hair's going to be all in my face. There's a lot of wind. My life is not going to look like an Instagram page. Well, I can make an Instagram page and make it look really good, but my life itself is never going to look like an Instagram page, and neither will yours. I'm out here walking and it's not pretty some of the time, you know. There's wind in my face, it's cold, there's people everywhere, and life just isn't perfect. Be okay with that, be joyful in it. My fitness routine is not going to look like all of those Instagram models. I'm a woman over 50 and got some weight on me and have some issues, but I'm going to be joyful in today. I'm going to walk and praise God and be in his beautiful beautiful creation. It's so beautiful. The trees are blooming today and it's incredible. And just because your life doesn't look like that, I got out once and put a camera on when it was beautiful, but the other days when I'm huffing and puffing in the snow and the wind, and it's not going to be pretty. So your house is never going to look Instagram perfect, and none of us are. We can portray that on Instagram, but it's never going to be perfect. So don't feel guilty about it. Just live in the mess, live in the day-to-day, and just be joyful in it. It's getting quite windy, so I don't know how much longer I can be here, but I wanted to encourage you to do what you need to do to get healthy, to get rest, to prioritize those that you love, and prioritize the time you need to spend with God, and don't feel guilty about the rest. Don't feel guilty about all of the things we normally feel guilty about. If you've got some ideas of how we can do that, please put them in the comment and help us all out. Let's chat about this. How can we feel less guilt and more joy in our lives? Thank you all for joining me on this crazy windy journey for the first part of May, where I'm starting to try to at least go on a walk a day, rain or shine. Tomorrow's supposed to be snow, so we'll see. But I'm going out no matter what. Anyways, I wish you guys all a happy week, and thank you so much for watching my videos. And please like and subscribe. Love you all so much. Have a wonderful week. Shalom, my dear friends. Woo! Okay, I'm back in the car. And it was windier than I had hoped it would be, but that's okay. I'm gonna try to turn this into some sort of a video, but I'm not gonna feel guilty about the fact that it may not turn into exactly the way I thought the video should turn out. So I'm just gonna enjoy the day. I got to go on a beautiful walk. I got to have some time to pray, some time to praise, and it was a good day. So I'm gonna go with that, and I'm gonna learn more and more not to feel guilty about the little things, the things that are unwarranted. unwarranted. I'm going to just enjoy. And yes, if God brings guilt into my life for something, I'm going to listen to that. I'm going to say, you know what, God, you're right. If I see a verse and it just stands out and it convicts me, then that is from God and that is good guilt. But if I'm just putting guilt on myself for no apparent reason, or just because I feel like I've let people down or this or that, I'm gonna try to shake that off and really work on that, and just try to be more at peace and live in joy. Hope you all have a wonderful day. Never feel guilty for not doing what others expect. Just because other people have expectations on you doesn't mean that you have to fulfill those expectations. Ever notice how other people have so many opinions about how you're living your life? If you're a single lady or gentleman, they're asking, why aren't you getting married yet? When are you going to get married? If you have no children, they're asking, when are you going to have your first child? As soon as you get married. Or if you have one child, they're not satisfied with that. Are you going to have a second child? Don't leave that child to be an only child. It's not their business. That's between you and God. And if you have a spouse, it's between you, your spouse, and God. They will question you on, why are you going to quit that job? Why don't you take this job? They have so many opinions. Those are not the opinions of God. Be right with God. Seek His counsel and just let go of the guilt that other people are trying to put on you. They might not be happy with their own life, so they got to go meddle in yours. So that's the next one is, don't feel guilty that you're not meeting other people's expectations.